Hey guys, Etiquette here, and today we have a Bushiroad remote fight etiquette video. In this video I'm just going to go over some points I've got from actual games, just to basically make the whole remote fight situation a bit better to all players who are having to do it right now, as the servers are a really good thing. I'd also want to point out right now, I do sometimes get easily distracted in these kinds of videos, so if I do happen to take long pauses, that is why. Please bear with me. Yeah. So, first thing, why have I got a field like this? Well, it's just to simply show how I do have field set up. I'll show you what I usually do. Cheers. I know not everyone has access to a sheet music stand, but I have this here, which... please ignore like all the deck boxes and stuff that's over there. That's like dice and counters and other decks that I'm not playing at the time. But they are slightly off camera. Oh, sorry, they are off camera. So, but if I do need dice, you know, I can very easily grab and have some dice ready to play. Again, I'll probably go on a load of tangents during this video, but let's not go any further with tangents. Let's begin with the first thing, which is the searching for games and then leaving the server, as this does create a few issues I've noticed before. So what this basically is, when you join the server, oh sorry, not when you join the server, but when you're looking for a game, you type @fight and then you tap the bot's name and press send. That will then start the bot searching for a game. Once another person types @fight, it will pair the two people with a game. Now, what will happen is if that first person has searched for a game, and 5 or 10 minutes have passed and that person has not... sorry about that. Yeah, let's say someone searched and then left. If me or someone else then comes into the server looking for a game and presses the @fight, it will immediately pair you with that person who's left, but you won't know they've left. That makes sense. Basically what I'm trying to say is if you're going to leave the server to do whatever, at least cancel your search first. It means that next people who are looking for games can find games. But let's say you do get into your game. This is going to bring the next thing, which is people not having their cameras on the field properly. And there's loads of different ways I've seen this. Again, I have my field set up like this, so people shouldn't have to worry playing against me. But what I do notice is sometimes when a person's field is shown, I know I've got more wobbly camera action, but when a person's field is shown like this, I have encountered this. When a person's field is shown, I'm going to have to really put some light through for this, but when a person's field is shown like this, it's another one I've actually had with someone who I didn't know at the time, but is a renowned cheater on Remote Fight. I'm not going to give any names just because I don't feel that's necessary for this video. But if you simply go into the servers, ask the name of renowned cheaters, you will get that person's name, as that person's name, as well as another player's name, pops up all the time. All I'll say is the player's name begins with a K and not a D. That's who I faced. And that should be enough for you to know who I'm talking about if you go into the servers and look. Again, this video is going to be more Vanguard centric. I don't know about Buddy Fight or Weiss Schwartz, but Vanguard is the main one I search for, which is standard and premium. Anyway, next thing is kind of a tangent from this, or kind of a spin-off from this, but if someone has a field like this, when that player is then not showing drive checks, because you can very easily claim something is something. And this isn't always the other person's fault. As such, it could just be a poor internet quality. But a lot of the time, you'll probably get drive check 1. Oh, look, it's a heel trigger. We're actually getting that heel trigger. Drive check 2. Oh, it's whatever other trigger I needed. best thing to do, first of all, before a game, just open up a camera and make sure you can clearly see all cards on the field. If there is glare on one card like I've got here, you can very simply explain what that card is. If it gets put into damage zone, for instance, for this, which is my Magic Lord Blaster deck, let's say this goes into the damage. If you can't already tell what it is, I'll then say it is a When Light and Darkness Intersect, which I can hold up to camera. That's with damage checks with drive checks. Very simple. Do your drive, hold it up to the camera just for a few seconds, and then do your next drive check. This way, you know that what cards are coming off the top of the deck is fair. One thing I will also say to do is after a shuffle, which you'll probably see my camera knock a few times when I do that, but it's not too bad. Yeah, just give your deck a quick cut as well, and people know it is fair. Which does lead me on to the next point. If people aren't doing that, it does make it very easy to stack. Like, let's say that I shuffle my deck off camera. You can't see me shuffling right now, but oh look, okay, my deck's shuffled. Crit trigger? Yeah, quite simply, you don't know if someone off camera is stacking their deck. So what I do recommend is just shuffling on camera. Even if you're doing like terrible shuffles or something like that, at least you can see it shuffled. And then afterwards, cut. I'm going to say as well, from a standpoint of someone who can be very easily triggered with noises, the one thing I'm going to ask that you don't do, because I do notice some players do this, is when they're shuffling decks and all you then hear when they're shuffling is that sound of, sound. To some players who are autistic or who are very close to the autism spectrum, who are very close to being on the spectrum, those noises can be very, very triggering and distressing. So yeah, and I do apologize for making those noises, but it was to purely make an example. I notice it sometimes watching games of stuff on YouTube as well. So not even just a remote fight, but just a PSA. Stop slapping cards against each other. Not fun to listen to. And the final thing isn't necessarily for if you are playing, but if you are watching. As I don't mind people watching games. It's a fair thing to do, if you're not feeling like playing, but you want to see some games get played, or you're new to remote fight and you want to see how other people are doing it first, hop in and watch one of the fight tables, that's fine. But this is where this thing comes in. Please mute your mic. I've seen it a lot of times where people will join, not mute the mic, and they'll probably have like some death metal band screaming in the background. We don't want to listen to your shitty music while we're trying to play a game. Yeah, sorry. Sorry about the pauses that you keep getting, guys. It's if I'm starting to feel myself get distracted, I'm pausing the video, letting the distraction pass, and then yeah. Anyway, people joining, not muting the mics. Yeah, just mute your mic. As soon as you join the call, there is an option to mute your mic, so please take it. There is also an option as well, which I will recommend to any player who is playing against someone, where you can only see video participants. At least that way, if someone does join your game, you're not getting your screen halved. Yeah, just look into doing that, as it is good. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to put a pause here, and I'm going to show you how I usually can set up a game, and maybe take inspiration from yourself. Okay, so all the cards are put away, so let's show you how I would usually start a game. First of all, shuffling deck on camera. You can do this whilst giving instructions to another player. We don't expect you guys to be robots when joining games. Like, you are allowed to say hello, do that sort of thing. Introduce yourself to your opponent. you know, if you're trying out a new deck, explain to them trying out a new deck if you want. But yeah, basically shuffling the camera, and don't know if you spotted there at the end, but just give your deck a little cut. Then, once you've done that, you do your opening hand, and very quickly check the opening hand number. Select which card you want to put back. Get those cards. And what I tend to do is put my hand off to another pile and then start shuffling again. And after doing that, you're ready to go. I will state, during your opponent's turn, or during when you're not using any cards in your hand, just place your hand down somewhere on screen, and even do something like that so your opponent can see how many cards are in hand. It's another piece of information to them. If you haven't G-assisted, or even if you do, like, if you're not doing any skills or you don't need your hand at this time, maybe just place your hand off the field like that. Your opponent can then see how many cards are in hand. And yeah. And then it'll go for the usual thing of, you know, stand up. Both players stand up same time. Draw a card. Ride. Draw. Quick shield. Etc. So yeah, I hope this video has been somewhat helpful. I am in the future as well going to look at screen recording games, obviously with players' permissions, and actually putting them onto the channel. But yeah, until my next video, which will probably either be one of those videos or something else Warframe related, or another thing that I've got in the works, but I'm not going to say anything about that just yet. I'll see you next time. So ciao for now, guys. What was that?